Our next speaker, you've already met, and she really needs no introduction because when she walks in a room, she fills the room with her personality. That's Fernanda Giannasi, who's from Brazil. Fernanda.
Okay. Good afternoon, my dear friends and members of the ADAO family. On behalf of Linda Heinstein, I thank you for the opportunity to be here once again with you and share our common experience and problems. Next. Thanks, Linda. It shows our asbestos mine in the central region of the country, owned by Eternit, which continues to operate despite the ban on asbestos due to an unconstitutional state law that defies a decision released by our Supreme Court that in 2017 ruled that the use of asbestos is banned in whole Brazil. The industry claims that their production is only for export to countries like the United States, Mexico. United States are used as propaganda. Mexico, and mainly India, Thailand, Indonesia, and other countries in Asian continent. This reprehensible practice of double standards or double moral should be considered a non-bailable crime of environmental racism. Next. Our judicial system is limping. Next. As I have shown you on other occasions, this shameful image of a courthouse in the mining town this city is called the National Asbestos Capital in Brazil, is decorated with this chrysotile stone weighing 2 tons. Next. For 5 years, we have been waiting for the judgment of appeals from the mining industry that are merely procrastinating measures. For 3 years, we have been waiting for the Supreme Court to declare this immoral law, state law, unconstitutional. What can we expect from this justice, which takes years to conclude a trial? And as one of our most prominent jurists said, delayed justice is nothing more than institutionalized injustice. Next. On the 21st of September, the Supreme Court's judgments are on the agenda again, under the new presidency of a very strict woman. She was my colleague at the Labor Ministry years ago. Recently is sworn in. Her name is Rosa Weber, the justice, and she included, as soon as she sworn in the agenda, all these actions stopped in the court for 5 years. We hope on September 21st that finally, after so many postponed, this is as the end of this social environmental catastrophe. Next. The only industry operating illegally in the country, besides the mining company, is the American Dow Chemical in the state of Bahia, producing chlor-alkalis. Their authorization to use asbestos expired yesterday, and I hope it will not be renewed. Its competitors, including the American group Oxychem Olin, have already replaced the asbestos in Brazil. Please help us to stop them using asbestos, denouncing Dow Chemical here in US, please. Our actions to prevent the export of asbestos through our maritime port complex were successful with the recent decision by the second degree of the Labor Court in São Paulo State next, confirming that asbestos cannot be exported through the 3 cities that make up this largest maritime complex in the country, including the city where I currently live in behind these mountains, which I call it my earthly paradise. I live there, behind the mountains. Next one, this decision, please, confirms the prohibition after several attempts by the industry with their appeals presented by the best lawyers they can buy with their blood-stained money. Sorry, the colleagues here, the lawyers, sorry. But I learned a lot from, yes, good guys, yes. I checked before. With Linda, of course. Who are these guys? Are they good guys? Okay. And I learned a lot from Dr. Castleman all these years about how Americans colloquially conceptualize important statements as not in my backyard, I love this, or the best money, the best the money can buy. It is superb, superb, because it's simple, but full of meaning, yeah? I congratulate you, Americans, for this, not because you are still allowing the asbestos. The next is my drama, my new drama. This is the most recent drama, a horrible asbestos legacy. I'm, of course, involved because I'm always in troubles. You know this very well, and of course. And it's taking me up a lot of time and energy. This aircraft carrier, scrapped by France, was purchased in Brazil in 1990 for $10.5 million. He never played his role properly. It was a scrap. In 22 years, this monster that I have nicknamed Leviathan, okay, the monster, okay, with 266 meters in length and weighing 32,000 tons, having been in maintenance and stopped at the shipyard for a long time until the Brazilian Navy decided to get rid of this metallic monster and sold it in an auction full of irregularities to a Turkish ship owner who bought the old ship for $2 million to take it to be dismantled in Aliaga in Turkey. The inventor of hazardous material, the IHM, only presented data from 12% of the areas and said that there are 9 tons of asbestos inside the ship. It was not complete, of course, but based on this incomplete HMI, our environmental agency, linked to Bolsonaro, of course, issued a license for the vessel to be towed by a Dutch company, of course, okay? Under protests from several European, American, and Turkish NGOs, the ship was stopped while it was closed the Strait of Gibraltar, and is now returned to Brazil to comply with the Basel Convention, which Brazil is part of. In Brazil, a new inventory will be carried out, and the asbestos removal will be done before returning to the waters of the Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. One point, in Brazil, we are not specialized dismantling ships, break shipping. We don't have this. It will be chaotic, this work, I am afraid of, for the workers, of course. This novel is the Odyssey of our times. Shame to Brazilian Navy and the mediocre and criminal president of Brazil, Jair Messias. You believe he has Messiah like a middle name? It's ridiculous. Okay, Bolsonaro. I will repeat it 1,000,000 times a day. Fora Bolsonaro, out, out, out. He's a genocide. 8,000 deaths of COVID is over his head. And I hope he will in jail to pay account of this one day. I really hope for this. Johnson & Johnson recently announced it will stop producing and marketing baby powder in Brazil in 2023. Why? Is it only now they will stop to produce and trade the talc, the baby powder, since we have a substitute sold in Brazil based on corn starch for a long time? How many lives could have been saved if the company complied with their proclaimed concept of mission, vision, and values, preservation of life, their products, and its so-called, in quotes, compliances? Next, finally, I would like to share this simple, modest, humble monument that please, the next one, we will inaugurate on December 10th in Osasco, which is our capital of asbestos diseases in Brazil. It will be our asbestos victims memorial in a small square next to the old Eternit factory. It's a long tree, okay, a long tree, so named to represent the life that needs air and lungs intact and free from asbestos fibers. The image I have in my mind, and I suffer a lot for this, is the people dying breathless, like fishes, with their open mouth, searching for the air. The leaves of this tree represent the shape of the pulmonary trees. The brown stem, the asbestos fibers, and the blue rings, the interaction with the universe. There will be also a plaque with hundreds of names of the fatal asbestos victims whose suffering, and they will not remain invisible anymore. The death will be not in vain. There are our heroes. Alan Reinstein's name will be carved there. Emily, you didn't know this. And for us, it's our pleasure to have Alan with our victims, okay? To show that our fight is worldwide. No song represents our struggle as well as the aria from the Turandot opera by Puccini, Nessun Dorma. Nobody sleeps. Nobody can't sleep. I end here today with this call. Let us not sleep. Us not abandon our struggle while there will be one victim of one of the major industrial catastrophe of our times. The song says, disappear the night, rest stars, At dawn, I will win. I will win, and I will say, we will win together. We will win together. Thank you, and give our hands, because our struggle is not easy. It's not for coward people. We need to work together. Thanks, Linda. For ADAO, Abreia will be present with you and the others always.
Emily and I are deeply touched, and I know Alan represents the hundreds of thousands of Alans, so we humbly and modestly say thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Fernanda. Always appreciate your words and your passion for the work you do in